Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. I don't wanna understand, I just want you to come and take my hand. Required color of a blue lotus flower or sapphire, sweeter than the sweet city of attractive attire. Where's my solar show? This is my only supplier. Smile like the moonlight, yes, bright blazing. The goal is happiness, constantly generated. Yellow garments, flower garlands decorated. There is a stumble in my step, it seems I'm medicated. Floating like a satellite, but so grounded as we dance in the dead of the night. Eyes restless, but you never left my sight. You just for me, this ecstasy is the green light. As I cruise, your effulgence is the street light. Not satiated, but yeah, I'm satisfied. The mountains on your pinky, it's alright. To just receive, no need to put up a fight. I don't wanna understand, I just want you to come and take my hand.
The bird speaks, friend of the fallen in the strength of the weak. The one I see keep me running through the pasture. Cowherd child, come faster. Put the name on my tongue, then I watch kingdom come as I float at the feet of my master. Right there, oh, what can I say to the Lord and the gopis I pray? Just like the Takuranga, the rain and the thunder, I run through the streets, I what spell am I under? Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Shyama. Tell them all that's who I am. Tell them all that's who I am.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Hello. Well, you certainly all know where to be tonight. That's for sure. And this is the perfect place because we've had an amazing day at Conscious Life Expo. Hasn't this been incredible? For our Friday, the energy, the good juju everyone's had, the love, all the people, and you're in the right place. And what's great about this is you're not only going to get a lot of information from this magical man, Jerry, you're going to get a transmission, an experience. And consciousness is an experience. So we've gotten a lot of information in our head, but now it's time for our own personal healing and our own experience. And Jerry is definitely a magic man. You know him from Star Magic. Probably a lot of you are here because you've experienced him. We love his passion. We love his commitment to spirituality. And we love the high level that he brings through and brings us to. So we're all here for an experience tonight. And we're so happy and with so much love, Jerry Sargent.
Cheers, Deborah. Thank you. Well, first up, can you guys hear me at the back? Loud and clear, yeah? Cool. Do you think the mic needs to go up a little bit or it's clear? It's cool. Yeah? Put up a little bit, yeah. Is that better? Yeah. Okay, first up, thank you to all of you beautiful souls for being here. Turn your phones off. Yeah, if you've got phones, guys, just check them, make sure they're off, please. Yeah, thank you for being here, not just here in this room, but actually on this planet. You know, thank you for showing up, guys, you know. Like, they don't just let anyone onto this planet. You gotta be a badass Jedi ninja knight to get down into this planet, you know. You gotta have trained for billions of years. You've got to go through a whole heap of stuff to get entry to here. They don't just let anyone in. That's the truth. And we're going to talk about this tonight. So, like Deborah was saying, I want to give you guys an experience. But before we kind of go into this, I want to kind of sort of lay down a little bit of the backstory. And before I do that, I'm just going to give you a little bit of information on me so you guys know who I am and where I came from. I know there's a lot of familiar faces in here, but there's bundles of new ones too. So, the machine gun version of my life story is I used to be a criminal, used to smuggle drugs, guns, was involved in lots of high-level bank fraud, and I used to love it. I didn't have any inclination to want to change what I was doing. I was making bundles of money, and I was very egotistical, and I could buy all the materialistic things that I wanted. And then one day I was in a car crash in Romania back in 2005. I was in a taxi with my ex-wife and children, and the taxi ran 3 ladies over. The first one came through the windscreen, smacked me in the face whilst I was asleep, got flipped over the car and died. Second one had her ankles got cut clean off, and the third one was physically okay. I didn't know that this had happened because I was asleep. I just woke up, there's glass, there's wind, and the car's swaying from side to side. When I got out of the taxi, I looked up the road and saw 2 ladies. One of them with her ankles cut off and the other one, you know, screaming and crying. A bit further up the road was what looked like a dead body. And I just was fixated on what looked like this dead body. I walked towards it, got closer and closer, and then I saw this energy hovering above her body, which I now know was the lady's soul. So I'm shaking my head trying to get this vision, this soul, whatever I was seeing out of my head, but it wouldn't go. And I got closer and closer, and this energy just fizzled off into the ether. By that time, I'm looking down at the lady's body. Her legs are wrapped up over her head. She's completely smashed to pieces. And it was like someone had taken an old car to the scrap heap. Like whatever was inside this body, it had gone. There was no love lost. Boom, it had just gone on its merry way. And I remember looking up to the skies and just saying thank you. I felt really grateful to have had this experience, to see what happened, you know, after death. There's this kind of disconnection and this connection between something esoteric and something physical. And up until this point in my life, I thought all of this stuff was for crazy people. I didn't believe in anything spiritual, God, the universe, none of that stuff. But this changed me. And then soon after this experience, things just started happening in my life. Like my ex-wife, she had a headache one day. I remember thinking, I can take it out of your head. I walked over to her, she was lying on the bed, and I saw this green energy in her head. I just pulled it out, and she got up off the bed like she never had a headache. And I thought, it's a little bit weird, a little bit strange, but, you know, carried on. Then we moved to New Zealand, and I had some encounters with some extraterrestrials. They took me in a spacecraft through a portal to a place called Alpha Centauri. And I met these blue beings that were Lyrans. I'd never heard of Alpha Centauri, never heard of Lyra, but I just knew all this information. I had this big download of energy, these light codes. They sort of pumped them down into my crown. Then they took me back on the spacecraft through the tunnel back into the garden that I was meditating in. I had another experience in the garden meditating one day. Jesus came down, took me into the Last Supper. I saw these extraterrestrial crafts outside the window, had that experience. Then I moved back to England and I started seeing all this geometry in the empty space, all these codes. And it was the same codes that got downloaded when I went to Alpha Centauri. And I was saying to my guides, what am I supposed to do with this stuff? They said, you need to meditate more, you're being lazy. So I started getting up every morning with my son, and we were going to these ancient mystery schools underneath the pyramids. And we went every day for 2 hours for 9 months, and they were showing us how to use these codes to heal people. So I started trying it out, and it was working, and I thought maybe I could start a business doing this stuff and maybe earn money legally for the first time in my life. So what happened is I went to an exhibition, like a Mind, Body, Spirit festival in the UK, and I said to people, I'm going to give away 3 free healings at the end of the weekend. So everyone was putting their names down, and when the weekend was over, I phoned them all up and told them they had won, just so I could practice. So I had all these people to practice on. So I did like 70 or 80 healings, did all these practice sessions, got loads of good results, and then I phoned them all up and said, listen, I'm coming to your house to have a cup of tea and get a testimonial from you. So I was up and down the country, driving around with my video camera, getting all these testimonials, and then started Star Magic in 2016. There's another interesting little bit to this story. When I moved from New Zealand back to England, I got arrested at the passport office for conspiracy to defraud the Bank of Scotland and holding a false travel document. And I was looking at a long prison sentence. In 2015, I was going through this court battle for a couple of years, and I was on bail. Ended up going to court, and I said to the universe, listen, if you want me to do this healing stuff, you better get me off this court case, and I promise you that I'm gonna commit to it, because I'd been resisting it for years. Like, all my mates thought I was crazy. I'm speaking about fairies and angels and all this kind of stuff, and they just thought I was nuts. So I resisted it, And then when I went to court, I was stood in this kind of bulletproof dock, and the judge walked in with 2 accomplices, and the lady to his right-hand side, my left, had wings on her back, and I could see them, and she looked at me and she winked. And I was like, fuck, I'm going to get off this, But my logical mind was still like, nah, you're never going to get off this. It's, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the prosecution gave their side of the story, and then my solicitor gave our side of the story. They went out and deliberated, came back in like 20, 30 minutes later, and the judge looked at me and said, listen, we can see you're a changed man. You got a 1-year conditional discharge and an £80 court fee. And I was like, get in there. That was it. I was like, okay, Star Magic, that's it. I have to commit to it now. So we started Star Magic in 2016. The blue beings that took me in the spacecraft to Alpha Centauri came and saw me again not long after, told me to write a book called Healing with Light Frequencies, which I wrote. They told me that we had to train people and that we were going to build healing centers. And I was like, it seems like a great idea, but how the fuck is this really going to happen, So I went home, I wrote this book, we put this training program online, and since then we've trained thousands of people. And now it's over 60 countries, from China to America and everywhere in between. And we're in the process now of getting planning permission on our first healing center. So all the things that these blue beings have told me to do, I've just been following them really like a robot, and everything's kind of unfolding. And now I get to travel the world and speak to amazing bunches of souls just like you guys, and just spread the message of love and transformation and empowerment and all of this good stuff. So the reason that I like to share this story is because if I can change, anyone can change, And I didn't used to believe in any of this stuff, but now I'm doing it every single day. It's what we do. I mean, today we've done like 25 healing sessions just at the booth, and, transforming so many lives. And we've got a big team of people that are out there healing. So it's amazing. And I just thank you for being here and allowing me to share this information with you. So there are 7 super universes, okay? And we live in a 15th dimensional time matrix. And we actually live in a holographic construct. And we're kind of like trapped in this construct in a way, but also we're not. And there's a reason that this whole kind of game has unfolded in the way that it has. Imagine that you were God, the universe, infinite intelligence, and you were just there like vibrating in space. What would you do? Would you just continue to vibrate, or would you think, maybe I can create something else. So what the universe did is it reached into itself and it created other fractals, other patterns, these creator gods, these creator beings. And these creator beings had free will. And the universe said to these creator beings, go out and create. So they went out and they created galaxies, planets, universes, and they were creating from the original code, the original mathematics of source, infinite intelligence, whatever label you decide to put on it. And this went on for billions and billions of years. To cut a long story short, eventually what happened is these creator beings started creating their own creator beings. And eventually there was pieces of shitty code that they were creating with. And then over the course of time, it was unnoticeable. But eventually, the creator and some of these other creator beings that were creating with the original code noticed that there's distortions in the creation. And if you go on and on and on through galactic history, eventually dark and light were created. And it's not really that there's dark and light. It's not really that there's good and bad. It's just that there were distortions in the code. And then these beings were creating from a frequency that wasn't the original piece of code that they were supposed to be creating with. And eventually, Earth, which was one of the first 12 Christed planets, okay, it started to go dark. The frequency started to drop, and these beings were creating in the 7th dimension, the 6th dimension, the 5th dimension, and eventually they came down to the 4th dimension. And the 4th dimension is the space bridge between 3D and 5D. This is where thought comes from. So these creator beings started to experience judgment. They started to experience fear, guilt, anger, some of these emotions that we all experience as humans today. And duality came into full flow, and there was polarity, and this is where the dark and the light comes from. People were arguing over who's right and who's wrong. At this stage, what happened is they created Lemuria. Okay? And Lemuria was supposed to be the chance for these creator beings to turn it around and actually make it right and use the code to recreate reality. Now, because this fall in consciousness was kind of rapid, what Source did was put a piece of code in place to stop the fall in consciousness going any deeper. And that piece of code that was used was called Metatron's Cube. And you guys will have, most of you I'm sure, you know what Metatron's Cube looks like? Yeah, it's like a cube with 13 spheres in. Now imagine you created a house or a room. You're not going to create a house or a room without any doors or windows. Okay, so you can get in and out of the house. Now, this piece of code called Metatron's Cube is what our 15th dimensional time matrix is made out of. If you look at nature, if you look at trees, if you look at tornadoes, if you look at human bodies, if you look at anything in nature, all of the mathematics of nature are held inside Metatron's Cube. You got the flower of life, the tree of life, the egg of life, the seed of life, all of these pieces of code, and they look beautiful. Okay, now Metatron's Cube was important because it stopped the falling consciousness going any deeper. But what happened is we ended up getting stuck inside of it. Now, if you look at dimensions, for us to get from one dimension to another, dimensions are stacked at 90-degree angles. Okay, so if you move through dimensions at 90-degree angles, you're only ever going to go from one dimension to another inside the cubed structure, inside Metatron's Cube. If you want to get out of this structure, you have to go through a spiral. Okay, now 49 days after conception, inside the woman's womb, 8 little cells appear, and those 8 little cells, they create a Merkaba field. Okay, which is 2 tetrahedrons, a male one and a female one. The male one is the top one, the female one is the bottom one. The male one spins clockwise and the female one spins anti-clockwise. These 8 little cells are held between our genitals and our anus. They're known as the egg of the Kundalini. These cells are the only cells in your body that never change. They contain all of the information on your soul records, ancestral records, galactic records, everything that has been, is, and ever will be. Now, this Merkaba field is around our physical bodies. It's in every cell. It's in every single chakra transmission center. We call them in Star Magic. Okay? And this Merkaba field is the key to getting out of this matrix. But not just the Merkaba field with 2 tetrahedrons. If you go inside Metatron's cube, you see 13 spheres. 13 is the magical number. Okay? We've got 13 months in our year, not really 12, there's 13. There should be 28 days spread across 13 months. The woman's cycles is 13 moons. Okay, we've got 13 constellations in our zodiac, not 12. Our 12-strand DNA blueprint is not really 12, it's 13. Because when you've got 12 operating fully, it creates the 13th, which is the whole. There are 12 stargates, but when all 12 stargates are fully operational, it creates the 13th, which is the whole. You've got the 12 planets that I told you about, the 12 Christed planets, but they're encompassed in the 13th. Okay, 13 is the magical number, and they tell us to stay away from number 13. Okay, everything in this world is inverted. Now, your multi-dimensional Merkaba field is made up of 10 tetrahedrons, which is a stellated dodecahedron. It's a 12-pointed star. Okay, you got 5 male ones and 5 female ones. And each one of those points links to a chakra, a multi-dimensional chakra. It links to a stargate. It links to a DNA strand. Everything is connected. When this multi-dimensional Merkaba field spins, it links into to 12 of the 13 spheres inside Metatron's cube. The 13th is your heart. Okay? Now, when this Merkaba field rotates, it puts you into a sphere, and that sphere creates a spiral. And once that spiral is fully operational, you can exit this time-based matrix. Not last year, but the year before, I went to Egypt, and I hired the whole pyramid for myself on my birthday. I went in the dark. It was fucking crazy. Like, I don't really get scared, but I was lying in the king's chamber, and honestly, I shit myself at one point because all the walls disappeared and there were so many beings in there. And I was like, shit, man, come on, Jerry, just breathe. Anyway, what happened is they took my light out of my body and they took me up through this Stargate system, through this spiral and into the God worlds. So they showed me how this code really works. And so a big part of the trainings that we do with people and the healing that we do with people is to help people switch back to their original code. The first time that I realized that the code was wrong was about 5 years ago. And a guy contacted me from Brazil. Okay, and he said he woke up in the morning and his head had grown, like his skull. It had like tripled, quadrupled in size, but his brain had stayed the same. And when he was lying down, his brain would hit one side of his head, or if he ran, his brain was rattling. So I said, send me a photograph. So he sent me a photograph, and I looked into his eyes, which is what we do before any healing session, and I saw that he'd been meditating, and he'd been communicating with some extraterrestrial light frequencies. And they switched his DNA back to his original code, and his head had grown. So he said to me, Jerry, please help me shrink my head back down. So I met him on Skype, and he did have a big fucking head. And and I looked at him, and I said, bro, why don't you grow your brain? Don't shrink your skull, grow your brain. I didn't have a clue how I would grow his brain, but I didn't know how I was going to shrink his skull. So he said to me, look at me, my head's weird. Everyone's laughing at me when I walk down the street. So anyway, in the end, I took him through this healing session. We went to the pyramids underneath Egypt into these healing pools, and we shrunk his skull back down. And I wish I'd recorded it, but I never thought it would happen. I didn't really realize that was going to happen. Anyway, since then, lots of people have wrote to us and said, listen, I woke up and my feet have just gone from size 6 to size 9. Or my hands have just grown. Like, people's bodies are growing and shifting just from connecting with certain frequencies. So I realized that the mathematical code that all human beings are running is off. Nature is off. Like, nature looks beautiful. but actually the code is slightly off. And what we have to do as a humanity is re-engineer our mathematics. The reason that our healing sessions are so powerful, people are getting up from wheelchairs, cancer's disappearing, eyesight's coming back, all of this stuff, because we're changing people back to their original code. You know, there's not any other healing modalities out there that are really doing this. Okay, and it's why Star Magic is working so well. So, inside your heart, okay, you got a stargate. If you go down into your heart and you look inwards, you're going to see a little diamond spark. And that little diamond spark is a multi-dimensional Merkaba field. And every single human being on planet Earth has got one. We humans are the only species that have free will, and we're the only species that have the diamond spark in our hearts. So we are plugged in to the original creator, God, source intelligence, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it. Did you guys ever watch Batman when you were younger? You know, Batman had that red phone. You know, you could call Batman in the Batcave. Well, this spark in your heart is like the bat phone. You got a direct link up to source, okay? And when you connect to this diamond spark and you invite it into your life, it will communicate with you 24/7, 365. Okay, but you got to listen to it. Okay, a lot of people, they don't listen to it because sometimes it gets you to do things that you logically don't really want to do. You know, and you feel a bit like a robot sometimes. But I guarantee you, when you start listening to this spark, when you start listening to source, everything works. Everything flows. But it's not easy. It takes a little bit of discipline because we live in a world, okay, that is running off this false code. And you do have dark and light. You have what people say good and evil. I don't like to look at it in that way. The way that I like to look at it, like I said at the very start of this talk, it takes a brave soul to come to planet Earth, and they don't let anybody in. This is the best training ground in the universe. We came here knowing that we would forget everything that we know, thrown into this chaotic, mad world, knowing that we'd have to find our way back home. And everything would be stacked against us. But when we were up there in space, it didn't really seem that bad. It was like, yeah, we'll be able to crack that. And now we're here, it's like, what the fuck did I come here for, you know? But we are here, okay? And we're brave souls. And everything that's in this environment is making us stronger, tougher, more disciplined, more loving. You know, when your family and your friends, they're telling you you're crazy or strange because you're going on this spiritual journey, you know, that's a beautiful opportunity to turn around and just say, I love you. You know, when all you want to do is say, fuck you, you know, like, blah, 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 like, leave me alone. Like, you want to get a little bit angry, but it's a beautiful opportunity just to stay in your heart, stay present, and just love them even more. So this worldly environment that we're in is fraught with challenges and tests and opportunities to step outside of our heart, to step into frustration or anger or guilt or resentment or rejection or whatever it is, whatever our kind of traumas and triggers are. But when you're connected to this spark in your heart, it's really hard to do that because you're there in your heart space, living from a total place of equilibrium, and it's really hard to derail your train. This spark in your heart is the world's best kept secret. It's why they take you externally all the time to get focused on this goal or focused on that goal. All we need to do is to go into our heart and everything works. When we go into our heart and we live from this present state of awareness, when we live from love, we become whole. And when we're in wholeness, we want for nothing, and then by default, we get everything. Okay, but when we're chasing, we chase things away. You know, that's why women are much better at this manifesting stuff than men. Because women are magnetic, men are electrical. Okay? And women should never chase anything because they're goddesses. They just magnetize. Men have got it all wrong. You know, men are out there chasing stuff and trying to force things into place, but it doesn't work that way. What we have to do as a humanity is access the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail isn't something physical. The Holy Grail is the masculine and the feminine interwoven and alchemized in that 0 point. Once you become whole, that masculine and feminine frequency 0 points, and everything works. Okay? Now, what I want to do today is to take you on a little bit of a journey. I want to take you into an activation meditation process where we go down into this sacred heart, where we go into this stargate and we connect with this diamond spark, and we move through that multidimensional Merkaba field to universe number 7. All right, because that's where the prime creator is. That's where the void space is. That's where the magic is. So I want to take you on a little journey to connect with this energy. And once you invite this into your life, everything changes. Okay? Nothing will ever be the same again. Some of you may already be there. Some of you aren't. And that's cool. We're all at different stages. But this is going to give all of us an opportunity today to step into our power. Okay? And what I've realized from, you know, being out in the world for the last 6 years, like doing these trainings and sharing these messages is, every single one of us is powerful. There isn't one human being on this planet that is weak. Okay? If you turn them in and they take that deep dive into the labyrinth of their hearts and they're prepared to just keep moving inwards, they're going to discover who and what they truly are. And that is a superhuman, a lion, a lioness, a warrior god, a warrior goddess. We're all the same. We're all in these different bodies. We look a little bit different. But ultimately, when you look into someone's eyes, you're going to see light. You're going to see frequency. You're going to see code. You're going to see love. We are love. Yeah? Love. That is the medicine. Love. So just get yourself comfortable. Take some nice, long, deep breaths and just be in this space for a moment. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. We are a team. We're a family. Breathe into your body. Breathe deeper and longer and slower. And settle down into this space. Feel your body. Feel the space around your body. And know that your body and the space are one of the same. There is no separation. Be here now. Melt into this moment. With your sisters and your brothers, with your soul family, your human tribe. Know that you are amazing, powerful beyond measure. Feel your body, your powerful, magical body. As you breathe in through your nose, all the way down to the pit of your stomach, and back out slow. know that it's by no accident that we're here in this space together today. It was written into the scriptures eons ago. We heard the call and we showed up. As you're breathing into your body, your powerful, magical body, the home of your soul in this reality, you'll become aware of a high frequency, electromagnetic, crystalline, translucent emerald light, full of diamond codes, flowing in through the walls, down through the ceiling, up through the floor. This powerful, high frequency, electromagnetic, crystalline, translucent emerald and diamond light flows towards your physical body. And starts to swirl around the outside of you in a clockwise direction. Over your head, underneath your feet, around your chest, around your back, swirling, getting brighter and stronger, swirling around the outside of your physical body like a powerful, high frequency, electromagnetic, crystalline, translucent emerald and diamond tornado. You start to breathe this frequency in. You breathe it in through your nose, up into your mind. It flows into your left brain, into your right brain. It flows around the outside of your skull, down through your head, your face, your neck, your throat, through your shoulders, your chest and back. It flows through your spinal column, middle back, lower back, into your buttocks, through your heart, your lungs, your rib cage, down through every vital organ, through your hips, your groin. It swirls through your thighs and your hamstrings, down through your knees, your calves, past your shins, into your ankles, through your feet, all the way to the tips of your toes. It moves through your shoulders, down your arms, through your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, into your hands, fingers, and thumbs. Continue to breathe in this powerful light until the inside of your body is completely full. From the top of your head to the tips of your toes, from the tips of your fingers and thumbs to your crown. Once the inside of your body is completely full, in your mind, say thank you and keep breathing. As this light flows through every cell, every atom, every molecule, every fiber of your entire being. Your cells, they dance and smile, communicating with each other like one big happy family. Your heart expands and expands and expands, filling up your chest, expanding out past the boundaries of your physical body and into the space as the light from your own soul illuminates your environment, and the love from your own magical, mystical heart flows and dances freely with courage, confidence, kindness, and unity. With passion, 360 degrees in all directions. And as you vibrate in this space, Mother Earth opens her heart, and a beautiful sixth-dimensional blue sapphire light flows up through the rocks and the minerals, up through the surface of the planet, up through your body and into your heart. Boom! There's an explosion of energy as you and Mother Earth connect. This celestial goddess, streaming magnetic code from her heart into yours, grounding you into her sixth-dimensional grid structure. Just be in this space and breathe with her. Be in this space and feel her. We are one. As you vibrate in this space, you feel this magnetic pull in your heart, and your awareness, your consciousness gravitates to the center of your chest. All of your awareness, all of your consciousness moving into your heart space. As you move down into your chest, your awareness, your consciousness, you look to the left-hand side inside your body and you see your beating heart. You feel your beating heart. You observe it, realizing that you and your body are something completely different. Be grateful for your heart that beats thousands of times every single day, and you don't have to ask it. Have a look down at your vital organs. Have a look around at your rib cage. Be grateful for your vital organs. Be grateful for your rib cage as you observe the inside of your body, knowing that you and your body are two different things. Have a look behind at your ribs and your spine. Your spinal column, your magic wand that supports your central nervous system. It's something different from you, something separate. You live inside this body. It's your home, but you are not it. This body is amazing. As you observe the inside of your body, have a look inwards. To that black hole, that stargate in the center of your chest, which leads out into the universe and beyond. Have a look into that black hole. And as you observe it, as you feel it, just have a look around for that diamond spark. It may be out in front or slightly to the left or right. Invite it into your space. As you become aware of that diamond spark, move towards it. Bring your awareness and your consciousness into the stargate of your heart and towards that diamond spark. And as you move towards that diamond spark, become aware of it expanding and growing as that diamond light gets brighter, more powerful. You get closer and closer towards it. This diamond spark is your access to every super universe and every dimensional space and beyond. It's your access to the God worlds. It's your access to Prime Creator, infinite intelligence. The frequency and the code that you are a fractal of. As you move towards that diamond spark, getting closer and closer, it opens up and you move inside of it. And as you look forwards, you become aware of a tunnel. Set the intention to move through this tunnel to super universe number 7. And as you set that intention, you'll become aware that you're speeding up. Moving through this diamond tunnel, through this vortex. Traveling faster and faster. As you pick up speed, twisting, tumbling and turning, moving through this portal to super universe number 7, the void space. Traveling faster and faster, feeling free, no limitations, your consciousness expanding, feeling at one with all things. As you race through this space, picking up speed, you look up in front of you. You see the end of the tunnel, 800 meters away, 700 meters, 600, 500, 400, 3, 2, 1, and whoosh! You fly out the other side. You are in complete stillness. You look around, it's dark. There is nothing, just the void space. You are consciousness, floating, being, drifting. Surrounded by infinite intelligence. Feel the frequency. Feel the energy. As you connect to raw potential. Just be here in this space and feel. Be here in this space and surrender. As your consciousness expands and floats and drifts, you feel like you're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Connected and disconnected. Feel the love, this nurturing energy. Pure balance, masculine and feminine. Wholeness. As your consciousness expands infinitely. As you vibrate in this space of raw potential, set an intention to bring love back to our world, to bring peace to the human race. To allow every woman, child, man to be in divine harmony. To allow the planet's resources to be shared equally. We have the power. We are the architects and the alchemists. And from this space we can create and co-create. Feel it. Know it. Trust it. As you vibrate in this space, you become aware of a very familiar frequency. The frequency of the Elohim, the Seraphim, the Oraphim. These angelic creator gods gathering in this space. Huge, powerful, light-encoded beings. They form a circle. Your consciousness is in the center. No form. These beings open their hearts, and streams of high-frequency light flow through the space towards you, towards your own heart center. 3, 2, 1, they connect with you. Boom! There's an explosion of geometrical code as the Elohim, the Seraphim, and the Oraphim connect with you heart to heart. Just be in this space as you set those great big intentions. Iariayana shuyaya kiariatu shiariayawata. Iariano shariakariara kiaya eka una shariano. Kiariano shiariatu eru ua ana uyata arie kuayata. Be in this space. As you vibrate, the Seraphim communicate with you telepathically and let you know they're about to download some very specific angelic, divine, feminine frequencies into your consciousness. Just be in this space. Surrender. as you vibrate in this space. Light code streaming into your consciousness. The Elohim, the Seraphim, the Oraphim. Connected to you at the deepest possible level. These beings, they turn to geometrical code, pure frequency, and they dissolve into the space of prime creator, infinite intelligence. And you look over to your right hand side and you see that diamond portal. Where you entered this space, you will exit this space. That diamond portal starts to rotate clockwise, and it draws your consciousness towards it. Magnetized, you flow through the space towards that diamond vortex, getting closer and closer. 3, 2, 1, and whoosh! You enter that portal, twisting, tumbling and turning. Pure consciousness racing through this diamond portal, back towards your own heart, traveling, twisting, tumbling, flowing, moving through this space. Traveling faster and faster through this diamond light. You look up in front of you. You see a light at the end of the tunnel. 800 meters, 700, 600, 500, 4, 3, 2, 1, and whoosh! You fly out the other side. You're completely still. Back inside that diamond spark in the center of your chest. Just be here for a moment, knowing that you can connect to this diamond spark at any time. A direct link to infinite intelligence. The best guidance in the universe. You slowly start to move out from that diamond spark into the stargate of your heart and back up towards the center of your chest. Until you move back into your heart center. Just be there for a moment. As your consciousness expands into your shoulders, your back, your chest, your arms, your hands, your fingers, your thumbs, your stomach, your hips, your legs, your knees, your ankles, your feet, your toes. and you become aware of a golden spiral flowing from your Earth star below your feet up to your stellar gateway, up through your central column, that crystal spiral. Your heart expanded. You start to become aware of your physical body. The vibration in your bones, the tingle in your cells, the frequency in every muscle. We're gonna count from 5 back to 0. When we get to 0, open your eyes, come back into this space, and just be. Take your time, there's no hurry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes, come back into this space, and just be. Feel your body, feel your energy, feel the space, and just know that you are amazing, extraordinary. You know, this training ground that we call Earth, like this school that we're here playing the game of life in, one of the reasons that we're playing this game is because we're being trained to help Earth return to her former glory. Okay, before Earth dropped into this third density space, Earth was light frequency in a much higher vibrational state. And what we're doing is changing the code to return to that. Once we do that, we're going to be able to go out into the universe and create more galaxies, more planets, more universes. We're being trained to be creator beings, creator gods. That's why we're here. This is the truth. We're not these measly little humans that, you know, are just here, just getting by. We're powerful. So powerful. You know, and we have to look into our own hearts and realize this, guys. You know, fuck the government. You know, like, it's really important that we make up our own rules of this human game. Okay, and the main rule should be love. Another rule should be kindness. You know, equality. Like, just helping each other on this human journey. You know, when you look into the eyes of another human, you realize we're all the same. You know, we're not different. We might look a bit different, but we're just manifestations of the same source. That little journey was just a glimpse into what it's like to connect with that frequency. But that frequency is what you are. That frequency is what created you and me and this whole planet. Okay? And if you start plugging into that every day, your life will change. It's not going to be an easy ride because we're so conditioned to be a different way. But if you keep plugging into it and you become committed and disciplined and consistent, everything will work for you. But you got to make that choice. No one can do it for you. And that's where most people fall down. They fall back into the old programming. And it's not easy on this planet because the programming We've been programmed for billions of years. You know, this earth is so much older than we think it is. People talk about Atlantis and Lemuria and all that sort of stuff. It's millions and millions of years old. You know, we've been incarnating on this planet for a long time. Not just 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 years, but millions of years. We are ancient. Okay? And if we plug back into that intelligence, you know, we can create magic. You know, in star magic, we have like a lifestyle, you know, like we intermittent fasting every day, you know, a minimum of 18 hours, exercise, meditation, breath work. All of these things are free. They don't cost you anything. You know, people make this spiritual game too complicated. Simplicity is the key. And this spiritual awakening's a load of bullshit. That's the truth. Because the spirit was never asleep. You know? The spirit isn't waking up. Humans are waking up. Yeah, we're waking up to our spirituality. The spiritual part of us was never asleep. The human part of us fell asleep. And we're just waking back up to our true nature. You know? No one's teaching you anything. We're just helping you remember. You know, when people come to our training, the first thing I say is, I can't teach you anything, but I can help you remember. And you guys can help me remember too. You know, we can all help each other remember different pieces of the puzzle. And that's what we are, a great big puzzle with different pieces of code. And when you walk down the street, you're downloading code into the earth, you're uploading code from the earth, you're downloading from the stars and uploading to the stars. Every human being you walk past in the street, there's an exchange of mathematical code. Okay, it's just a game of mathematics. And we have to re-engineer our inner geometry if we're going to make it through this ascension process. But it's not hard. You just got to make the choice to commit to the process. And love is the key. Because when you love, and there's no room for any bullshit. You know? It's just love. There's no room for injury, illness, disease, none of that stuff. And the funny thing is, like, we have a healing business called Star Magic, but I can't heal anybody. That's the truth. I've never healed anyone in my life. But if you go to the website, you'll see that we've you know, loads of people say, oh, Jerry healed me of this and Jerry healed me of that. No, what I did is I created an environment so the human being could self-heal. Yeah? No one can heal you. But if you get into the right environment, your body just rearranges itself. So start plugging into the right frequency and your inner geometry will change. What is the right frequency? Go into that space that I took you to today. That is the right frequency. That's the only frequency that will work because it's the original code. You start plugging into a false code, you're going to be re-engineered in the wrong way. But you plug into the real mathematics and everything just happens on its own. You don't even have to do anything. All you got to do is make the choice to drop into your heart, connect to that diamond spark, and boom, the magic happens. It's easy. Has anyone got any questions before we wrap it up? Any questions about anything? Yes? Say that again, I can't hear you. The first one we're building at the moment, which we're getting planning permission on now, is in Transylvania in Romania. Yeah, we've bought land in Madeira, in Portugal, in the UK, different places, yeah. Yeah, we want to build one in Maria, Egypt, Russia, different places. Like, they're just places that we were told. Like, back in 2015, I was meditating on a hill, and the same blue being that took me to Alpha Centauri, his name's Derekwai, he came and sat next to me, and the whole town that I was meditating, looking over, it just disappeared, and I saw these 13 orange dots around the Christ consciousness grid. And I said, what are those? And he goes, they're healing centers, you've got to build them. And I said, well, if I build them, who's going to work in them and run them? He said, you've got to train people. And that's the only reason we started training people. Yeah. Sorry? What booth are we in, G? 406. Yeah. That depends on how your tattoos are encoded. You know, I remember a few years ago, a guy came to one of our trainings and he'd had this like bamboo tattoo done in the Philippines. And when I looked at it, there was like demonic coding inside his tattoo. So we had to recode his tattoo. Like, it depends, you know, like who's doing it and the energy of who's putting it in. Yeah. Hold on. What's it? Thank you for being here. You're welcome. Guys, you know, we're brothers and sisters on this planet. We really are a family. So let's treat each other like brothers and sisters. You know, stop judging, don't blame. Let's just get on with each other. And if someone pushes your buttons, if someone pisses you off, say thank you. Yeah, say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to stay in my heart and live my truth and show me that I've still got work to do. Because we all get our buttons pushed, you know, myself included, you know, so we just have to stay zero pointed though. And if you keep connecting to that diamond spark, everything's going to work, guys. Yeah. You know, something that I recommend everybody does is psilocybin and ayahuasca. You guys, if you're not doing any plant medicine, you got to get into it, okay? It's amazing. You know, we do plant medicine journeys. We've got one next week in North Carolina for 10 days, but it's sold out. But we do them all the time. So go to the website, starmagichealing.org. Check it out. We do trips to Egypt every year. We train people. We've got 4 levels of training. There's quite a few people in here that have done our training. So if you're interested in this mission, coming and working in these healing centers when they're up and running, come and do our training. Come and connect with us. We've got an app called Infinity. There's hundreds of meditations, light language transmissions, cosmic yoga videos, nutrition, everything that you need to be a high frequency being. So just check it out on the website. No more questions? Yep. Fasting. Yeah. So the reason we do 18 hours of intermittent fasting is because when you get to 18 hours, you spike growth hormones, cellular regeneration, stem cell growth, much more clarity of consciousness, your energy levels go up. It's amazing. If you go a little bit more, you spike even more growth hormones. And yeah, I mean, every week do a 24-hour fast. Every month do 2 days of fasting, and twice a year do 5 days. You know, when you do a 5-day fast, you get a complete bodily reset. It's amazing. Drink your own urine's a good thing. You know, a lot of people don't like that, but you know, it's the best medicine on the planet. You know, when you wake up in the morning, seriously, when you wake up in the morning, let your first stream of pee go and then catch the rest of it. We always fast from 6 in the evening to 12 the next day. So at 12 o'clock, drink down your pee. It's the only liquid on the planet that contains all the information on your own body. It's amazing. If you've got eczema, rub it on your skin. If you've got a cold, snort it. If you've got an earache, tip it in your ear. Honestly, it's amazing. Yeah. There's a book called The Perfect Medicine. Get it and read it. It'll tell you all about it. Yes, sister. Guys, listen up, listen up. Because the frequency that we're extraterrestrials in these human bodies, right? We're galactic beings, and this frequency that we're bringing through our meditations is a galactic frequency. So we're plugging back into our original code. It's all about the maths. It's all about the geometry in the meditations, in the frequency. You know, it's the same with our healing. It's why our healing's so rapid, because of the code that we use. It's all about code. It's all about the code. Yeah, 100%. You know, everyone can do it. Everyone can do it. You are welcome. What time is it? Got 4 minutes, guys. Anyone? Yes. It's a bunch of geometry. It's a fluid, ever moving, like piece of code. It never sits still. So and it's not like it's got no straight edges. It's not like the code that you see in our textbooks. If you get my book, Healing with Light Frequencies, there's pictures of the code in there. You'll see it. Yeah, and it changes all the time. I mean, I see it all the time in the empty space. It used to really drive me crazy, but I've just got used to it now. And yeah, it's hard to explain. It looks like a parachute. You got these bits of code that are vertical, these bits of code that are horizontal, and you've got this kind of like mathematics in the middle. And it always takes that kind of like form, but it just keeps changing all the time. Say that again. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sorry? It is. If you look at Adinkra codes. Adinkra codes are like the pure code of the universe. It's what the internet runs off, and it's also what the universe runs off. Adinkra codes. ADINKRA. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, listen, I love you. Thank you for being here. Have an amazing rest of the exhibition, and I'll see you guys soon. Yeah, thank you. Love you.